This is Ashton Marcus, and I'm on location at Theater 40 of Beverly Hills for the American premiere of Two Sisters. Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Sharon Shane. I'm from New York originally. I've been on Broadway, off-Broadway, off-Broadway. I'm a member of Theater 40 and Pacific Resident Theater and Rogue Machine, and I absolutely adore this play by Gail Lowe, Two Sisters. Yeah, it's very, very meaningful. I play Rika. Rika is just a wonderful character. She left Germany right after Kristallnacht when she was 14 and went to stay in Israel with her older sister and her aunt and a couple of relatives, and left there when she was 18 and moved to Brooklyn, New York with her husband. And she's come here to be with her sister for her sister's birthday. Yeah. And I have a daughter and a granddaughter that I'm very, very devoted to. But I've been carrying something on my chest, a secret, for many, many years.
I remember actually in the 1980s, a long time ago, a movie had just come out called My Dinner with Andre, and it actually did very well.
It did.
It was a story about two people. All they did is talk. The critics were amazed
Andre Gregory.
that it did so well, but it was actually a movie, and it did very well. This play actually reminded me a lot of it.
Really? That's so interesting. That's really interesting to hear. Yeah, no, I don't remember the specifics of it, but it was just people talking and random, and it was quite interesting. Yeah. Well, I'm complimented that reminds you, because Andre Gregory is a big talent.
I enjoyed myself very much, and
thank you.
Yeah, and actually, I enjoyed the characters that you played. They were very realistic, and also the conversation you had were very. It was actually a snapshot of a life. It's kind of a synopsis of a person's life.
Yes, it's a beautiful story of just sibling love with sibling rivalry and things that we carry for many, many years. And this is my dear sister on stage.
Okay.
This is Lita Siskin.
Hi. Yes, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Lita Siskind. I was in theater for a very long time back in New York and in Los Angeles, and then I quit for a while, and I just started back again like 4 years ago. So it's really great to be back on the boards. I did Broadway and off-Broadway, and I did Los Angeles theater. I was at the Odyssey, and I love Theater 40. I'm part of Theater 40. So it's great to be here, and it's a wonderful show. It's a really great show. So I'm pleased. I played Edith. This is a story of two German sisters who have been bickering and loving each other and spatting and, going back and forth for, probably all their lives, 70 years worth. But I think that the way to describe this play is that nothing happens and a lot changes, Nothing happens and a lot changes. Sort of like Jewish Chekhov is how I describe it. It's like when you're with your relatives and you think, I know these people, I know them, and then they say something and you think, who is this person? I don't really know this person at all. That's what this play is.
Yeah.
It's discovery.
A
lot of unspoken that finally gets spoken. So it's funny and it's poignant, just like kind of real life.
So it's not a tragedy. There's a lot of comedy in it, and I think a lot of people can relate to this.
And you don't have to be Jewish, God knows.
And you don't have to be Jewish, right, because it's just about all families. I never had a sister. I always wanted one. Now I have one.
You're so sweet.
Right? No, really.
Again, I'll just mention that basically this reminded me back in the 1980s. I remember there was a film that came out called My Dinner with Andre, and it was nothing. First of all, the critics were amazed that it was nothing but a story about two people talking.
They're just in the theater.
Yeah, but the movie actually did pretty well.
Yes, because it's really all theater, all good novels, all good art is really not what happens. It's our reaction to what happens. It's how we experience it, how we change and how we shift and how we grow. And I always describe this show as one sister never lets go of anything, and the other sisters let go of everything. And by the end of the show, they've reversed places.
A little bit about my show. A lot of people listen to my show are community theater actors, or basically they're theater students. Is there any kind of advice you can give them to help them along with their career?
Oh my God, advice. I have been thinking a little bit about how I was trained. And I have to say, I was trained very well. And if you find really good training when you're young, it will stay with you. No matter what other people will tell you, you will find the exercises that work for you. You'll find the vocal warm-ups that speak to you. And you've got to trust your own instincts on that. You also have to trust the way you work as an actor. Some actors work inside out, others actors work outside in. Whatever it is,
a combination.
Yeah, and you have to trust whatever it is the way you work. So it's a lot of, I think, self-strength.
Yeah.
Don't you think?
Yeah. We're talking about, I got distracted. Thank you, darling. We're talking about training?
No, we're talking.
If you have advice for a young actor.
For young actors.
Oh my God. Study. Yeah. For very young actors. So much in California is about on camera, and that's not the way I was trained, and I don't think that's the way that leader was trained. You have to train your instrument. For the actor is his own painter. Your body, your voice, your emotions, your sense of humor, your intellect
what I was saying.
is
Right?
what is your
You have to
palette.
trust
So
who
you have
you
to
are.
you have to train yourself to do that. Just the way that I'm also a painter, so I know when I paint, I have the oil and I have the brush and I have the canvas. But as an actor, it's myself. So I would go for that kind of training rather than on-camera training, because that's superficial. You need that later on because there's so much of that in California, right? But I find actors that do theater can do film. Usually actors that are
Not
trained
the
in
other
film,
way
not
around.
the other way around. Yeah.
Well, again, I like the performance very much.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure talking to you. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for coming.
Hi, my name is Ashley Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with...
Gail Lowe. I'm a playwright. I've been a playwright for 15 years. I was born in South Africa and I live in England, and I've lived there for 40 years. And I've got quite a lot of plays on. I've had 9 productions. Later on, last year, I had my play Blonde Poison here, which has travelled the world. It's actually on in Milwaukee tonight, and it's going to be on at the studio of the Sydney Opera House in April, and Melbourne as well. Things are travelling around, so I've got quite a few plays on in various places around the world and in England as well.
So why did you decide to write this particular play?
This is one of my earliest plays. It's something that was always very dear to me. It was the second play that I ever wrote. And it was always a play that was in me waiting to come up because it's based on my mother and my aunt. And the story is something that I've always, it's very, very much part of me, this particular story.
I remember in the 80s, that was quite a while ago, there was actually a movie out called My Dinner with Andre. It was a story about nothing but 2 people talking. They actually made a film out of it and actually did very well. Mm-hmm. So this reminded me a lot of it.
Oh, did it? Oh, that's interesting, yeah. I mean, most of my plays are of 1-2 people, you know. If you have a lot more than 2 people, you don't tend to get plays on, certainly in England, you know, in small theatres. But I think it's just appropriate to have this as 2 people. Being sisters and the issues around sisters is a universal theme. And then throw into that whole theme the idea of Israel, the early days of Israel, the Holocaust. It all makes it into a big, interesting area. And of course, having grandchildren, not having children, there's lots of issues here that's discussed.
Basically, the play was about 2 women, and you're a woman also. I don't think it was purely a woman play, but I appreciate the strength behind the women and the complexity of them. But again, Was it more of a, say, woman play, or was it for the general public?
I know what you mean when you say it's a women's play. I mean, as you saw, there were quite a few men here, and they seem to appreciate it as much as the women. But it is about relationships, and women tend to be more interested in relationships. There's no bombs, well, actually there are some bombs, but there's no kind of rockets, and there's no technical things. It's about relationships, how people feel, how they relate to each other. And perhaps that is considered to be more women.
Well, either way, I enjoyed it very much. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you very much.
Hi, my name is Ashton Marcus. I'm with KUCI 88.9 FM in Irvine, and I'm here with
Stuart J. Zully.
And what do you do around here?
Well, I directed this show. I directed a show last season. I did this one this year, and then I'm working directing some readings, producing some readings here every other month, new plays. In fact, this play that you saw tonight was part of the reading series, and so it did well, and that's why they chose to produce it. Two Sisters by Gail Lowe. It's an interesting piece. It's two sisters who bring up some secrets from their past, and through them, I guess anybody who has a brother or a sister or who knows of relationships like this can totally relate to it. And so even last night, it was interesting, last night's performance, a woman said, I couldn't tell whether the relationship was my mother and my aunt or my two daughters. She said, my daughters aren't in their 70s, so I tossed that out, but they have a similar relationship to that. And I thought that's perfect, because that's just what we wanted to get, which was a relationship play, and it seems to be speaking to people.
Yeah, most theater nowadays, either they're going to do, a lot of them do musicals, a lot of them do nostalgic plays, things that they kind of know. There aren't that many people who actually come out and actually do either relatively new work or even, United States premieres. So that's pretty bold move.
It is, and it to really shape a play, it takes readings and then getting feedback, and then the writer going back and retooling it, and that's what was exciting about this. This was done in London a few years ago. The play is about 15 or 16 years old, but it hasn't been done in the United States until tonight. So tonight actually was the premiere. So that was kind of exciting to be there for that. And the playwright came in from London.
Well, actually, I enjoyed the play a lot.
Oh, good, yeah, that's good. And so we're excited. We have a 5-week run. It goes to, February 21st, and we've gotten a lot of good audiences so far. We had a few previews the past few days. Tonight was the opening. I think tomorrow's sold out. So that's exciting here at Theater 40.
I was impressed by the cast. I mean, I thought they were perfect for their parts. What do you look for in your casting?
Well, it was interesting in this play because they both auditioned for the same role. And I liked both actresses, and then I kind of mixed and matched, and I just wanted to see them relating to one another together. And fortunately, it came out right. I picked right, I think, which was good. People who can make the words come off the page, so it doesn't sound like a play, but it sounds like people who are making it up on the stage each night. So it's organic, and that just takes. You keep rehearsing and you keep saying it, and then the way they term it is called you own the words, and so that's what I think we have up there. It's a very naturalistic play. On the set, they heat up some tea, they drink tea, they eat cake, there's a lot going on watching TV that's just like you're a fly on the wall and watching them in this comfortable space. And I think they make it feel you feel that way. You're right there with them.
A little bit about my show. A lot of people who listen to my show are community theater actors or they're students. Is there any kind of advice you can give them to help them along with their career?
I would say it doesn't matter if you do a show in a big theater or a little theater. You have to keep trying to work. So that means if you're inspired to want to produce your own show, do it. Don't wait for the phone to ring. So if young students, if they have scenes and maybe they get together with their friends and they can pool together a few dollars and rent a space and just put on an evening of scenes, they'll get great experience and they'll feel better for the next one and the next one and the next one. I had a teacher years ago and he said, there's no excuse for not working. If you're not working and somebody doesn't hire you, go out and figure out a way to do it on your own. And that's what fine artists do. An artist, a painter, doesn't wait for somebody to say, here's some money and paint me a painting. They get inspired and they paint. And then they keep painting the next one and the next one. And then they sell it, hopefully down the road. And so it's the same with an actor, which is just keep working on your craft. That's what I say.
Well, once again, I really enjoyed the play. Thank you very much for being on the show.
Thank you so much.
Two Sisters will be playing at Theater 40 from January 21st to February 21st. For more information, go to www.theater40.org.